do you think really hampered him last year? Do you think it was just kind of a rookie year adjusting? Because everywhere he's gone, whether it's college, whether it's the minor leagues, he's hit everywhere he's gone. Do you think it's just a circumstance of just he needs more time, or do you think I've heard he's had some like attitude issues? What do you think really went into that last year?
If he did have attitude, we don't know. I mean, we hear whispers, but who do we hear the whispers from? Are we hearing whispers from people who really know or who think they know? We know this. He was a really highly successful college hitter. He hit some in the minors, but maybe not as much as we hoped. But we also know this. His career, along with lots of other people, were thrown out of whack by the COVID year. And he had a non-typical start to his career that a lot of pros in the past have had. So I'm willing to give most guys, especially young players, a lot more rope to see how they do, to get that COVID year and all the hangover from that in the past. And hopefully this is the year where you start seeing the real Spencer Torkelson step to the fore, the guy that they drafted. Because obviously that's going to be a big key to building a contending lineup.
Torkelson, I mean, there were some big expectations with your being the number one pick. What are your expectations for him now? Has that kind of lowered? I remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about him maybe turning into a Rhys Hoskins type player. Is it for him? Does he have to be a perennial all-star, a guy that's hitting 30 home runs a year? I mean, What do you think is a reasonable expectation for his career as a Detroit Tiger?
Well, certainly, he's a first baseman, so they're never going to care that much about his glove. I mean, it's good that he probably is slightly above average first baseman. Obviously, that's great, but it's about his bat. He's got to hit. He's got to hit a lot. I saw someone, and I apologize to the person out there on Twitter because I don't remember who, but they were comparing him to Jack Clark. Will he have a Jack Clark type of career? And John, you might not remember Jack Clark. He played for the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. He was a dangerous right-hand hitter. He was an outfielder, but it doesn't matter. As a hitter, he was a guy who played in a big park in St. Louis, so that kind of depressed his home run count. But overall, he was a really dangerous hitter, hit to all fields, had the extra base power. I thought that was really an interesting comparison that this person made. If Spencer Torkelson becomes Jack Clark or Jack Clark Light, that's an excellent cog in a lineup. So I really do believe that he can, especially now that they've moved the fences in and they've lowered some fences. I think he can be a 25 home run force. I think that he showed when he came back last year after his time in the minors, he was hitting the ball pretty hard. There were a couple balls that probably would have went out in the new dimensions. So if he can get off to a decent start, a 25 home run year might be in the offing this year. I think he could do it.